What's up, guys? Welcome to the Half Amazing TV YouTube channel. I am Johnny Fontana and I'll be bringing to you nightclub tips, news, tutorials, and of course disagreements.
We're just some men that's on the mic, and when we rock up on the mic, we rock the mic.
And we're on. Johnny Fontana, bringing to you nightclub tips, news, tutorials, and of course disagreements. I have a special tutorial for you today. This is one that has been asked of me by quite a few people after I released my 1 hour mix, which you can find at the top corner of your screen. And it's basically taken from that mix, and a lot of individuals have asked me to just go over and explain what I was doing during my long transitions. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and speak over it, go over it while it's playing, and then from there I'll let it play again on its own without me speaking, just so that you can have an idea of what's going on. So and I'll stop it, in between, so that I can further explain and break certain things down. So let's go ahead and start. All right, what I'm doing here, I just came out of a track and I'm just adjusting my EQs and so forth, and I'm going to set up a new track. So I have a track in play. I'm using my headphones because that's just the way that I can mix. When I'm inside the studio, it's just too much noise, especially when I have the baby sleeping. So let me stop it right here. All right, basically what I'm doing here is that I'm programming the next track. I'm setting up the BPM, just obviously matching and pairing the speeds, okay? I know that a lot of people have questions in regards to what are you doing in between mixes, right? Well, there's a couple answers to that, but it all depends on what you're mixing. All right, so in this case, just for this purpose, this instructional purpose only, I'm spinning a sort of a deeper sound, which is not as impactful, right? Or as impacting, which means that I'm not doing a lot of looping effects, quick mix. So therefore, the transitions and mixing, it's smoother, right? There's no abrupt sound, so it's just it requires a lot more attention to detail to the sound, and basically you are literally keeping your fingers on the dial in the event that things go hairy on you, so you can make these adjustments. All right, so let's go. So again, when it comes to pairing your music, you'll find that as you gain more experience, you'll be able to set 3, 4, 5 tracks ahead of time, right? And the whole phrase and key mixing, it'll just come naturally to you, especially when you know your music, and especially when you organize your music. I still have to do that tutorial on how to organize music, but when you're in that same folder. So for example, this is more about like a Latin deep tech, Afro style. So I can keep that sound in one folder, which is like a sort of like a sub folder of of like a deep house or maybe of a tech house. So let me stop it here real quickly. All right, what I'm doing also here is that even though I set the loop previously, I'm adjusting the speed. Obviously, I'm using the jog wheel. That's just my preferred way. A lot of people they choose to ride the pitch. I don't do it because it's just not as efficient for me. I find that I've mastered the ability to rotate the jog wheel and not have the music fly on me. So when you are mixing long transitions, you have to ensure that you get the timing right, and especially when you have, you know, the tools of today such as looping, it's a lot easier, all right, to keep things seamless. You still have to do some manual adjustments, but still you are in line with the sound. And as I said before, you already know your music, you already have the tracks lined up, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to be able to now keep things aligned on a musical level. Okay, so right here I'm just doing my manual EQ adjustments, bringing up the track, because as you can see, I don't use my channel fader just because it's just my way of doing it. I find that it's a little bit more smooth or smoother, and I just EQ mix, which brings the music along gradually, like if I was using a rotary knob. But with the rotary knob, it's actually the volume that you are adjusting, so everything comes in as a whole. Whereas I am individually bringing up the different elements, such as the bass, the highs, and the mids. Okay. So everything is running smooth here. Now I'm adjusting my PFLs because I am mixing within my headphones. All right, slight adjustments as always. It's always key. And you see, that's what it is. I'm not free-handed, meaning that I'm busy paying attention. So now you see how it's coming in. Now you have to be careful now with the bass, especially when the sounds are similar. You want to make sure that there's no clashing. That's why I'm doing the adjustments. Now I set my loop. I messed it up on time. It was off time. So I needed to make sure that it was on time before I set it again. So I had to extend that loop. Now I'm making my adjustments again. Now I'm just letting it ride. You see, I'm not taking on the fader just yet. I'm letting it ride, and I'm letting the incoming track sort of gradually progress and develop on its own. Now it's a seamless, almost one track. But now I have two tracks playing at the same time. Now, if you want, you can play around with the vocal, with the outgoing track. You can. I just prefer, in this instance, not to, because this is more of a listening mix. This is not a live club or party mix. So I chose just to keep everything simple, especially if people are listening to it in their cars or what have you. I just chose not to mess with the music. But you see how I'm just slowly making these adjustments. I'm just letting it ride. But like I said, if you want to, you can sort of mix, change out the bass and all that good stuff. And now it's out. What I did, I sort of echoed it there, and I just let it run. Now from here, I just adjust I'm just doing a little EQ to the next track coming in. But from there, that's basically what it is. It's not really difficult, especially when you have your seamless loop. When you're using the CDJs, it's just a little bit more difficult. It takes more practice. There's a lot more prayers to be thrown up, basically, because you never know if you're going to get it on point. So you have to make your manual adjustments, and it takes a little bit more time. But now we have all these tools that Tractor and even the newer CDJ models provide seamless looping, so it's a little bit easier to control. So just final, before I run it through again so that you can actually see what I did. Remember, pairing your music is essential, and it's done by grouping all the sounds that sound similar into the same folders. You know, so if you have the Afro Latin, you put everything Afro Latin. So if you have a big Afro Latin sound, you put it in the big Afro. If you have more loungy, you put it in the loungy. You can do anything that you want to do in terms of organize your folders. And like I said, I will do a how to organize your folders, and I'll give you some of my descriptions, and I'll show you how I organize my music, and I'll give you some examples with specific sounds so that you can further understand. But when now you're setting up your music, the whole, you know, being free and not doing anything behind or after a mix, it depends on what you're playing. You know, if you're playing a song and you are simply going track to track, you should always have your fingers on the dial. That's just the way I do it. I'm not saying you should always, but preferably, because you never know. You always want to make slight adjustments, and also it's good to have the oncoming track. Just keep, you know, it's like sort of when you're playing baseball. When you get at bat, you know, you do your practice swings, or if you're at the free throw line, you do your practice air shots, right? So it's basically just keeping yourself, you know, ready for action, so that you don't have any slip-ups. All right. So I know a lot of people get all upset about EDM DJs just tweaking knobs and not doing anything, but guess what? Deep house and techno and tech house and all these other DJs do the same exact thing. All right. It's just a force of habit and basically keeping your fingers on the dial. All right. So like I said, when you're doing these long transitions, you don't have to do it for every mix, obviously. All right. But certain mixes call for that, and especially depending on the mood, the environment, the texture. If you're playing more of a deeper sound like this, then you know, do a couple, and it really sets the mood and vibe, and because it sort of makes a different sound, or sorry, a different song altogether. So also, I choose to EQ my mixes because that's just the way that I've been doing it for the past 10 years. You can use the channel fader, but you just have to be careful. You know, watch your EQ, watch your bass, and if you find that things are clashing, just do a quick swap or smooth swap of bass lines. That's not as noticeable, but just enough so that you can, you know, make sure that they're not clashing, because it just really sounds bad. And also, you need to make the pitch adjustments in order to make sure that the bass and the overall tracks are online. So Johnny Fontana, Half Amazing TV, the link to the full set is down below, and also you can catch another how to mix deep house on another link that I have also down below. That also has commentary. So let me go ahead and run through the whole mix so that you can see what I'm doing without me talking. And we'll see you on the flip side. Johnny Fontana, Half Amazing TV. We out.
fucking thing sucks!